This isn't some science fiction movie plot. This is a true story, and it just happened. It's a huge warning sign for all of us about where things are heading. So let's break down exactly how an AI pulled off a $25 million heist. Okay, so picture this. You're a finance worker. You get a video call from your company's CFO along with a few other senior executives. They give you instructions, everything seems normal, and you do your job. You authorize a transfer for over $25 million. And this is where it gets absolutely insane. Every single person on that call, the CFO, the colleagues, everyone, was a fake. An AI-generated deepfake. The only real human in that entire meeting was the employee getting scammed. So what exactly are we talking about here? A deepfake is when AI creates super realistic but totally fake video and audio of someone. It's basically a digital puppet, and it's become the ultimate weapon for a new kind of crime. Now, a heist like this doesn't just happen. It wasn't some spur-of-the-moment thing. No, this was a carefully, meticulously planned operation. Let's take a look at the criminal's blueprint. The attackers used a 3-phase playbook, and this probably took weeks, maybe even months. First, they did their homework, gathering data. Then they trained their AI models. And finally, for the grand finale, they executed the attack with that video call. And you might be wondering, where did they get all this data? Well, it was all just out there, publicly available stuff. Think LinkedIn videos, company webinars, talks from conferences. They just scraped a little bit of material and had enough to build a convincing digital puppet of each executive. This right here shows you the terrifying economics of all this. The cost to get started is just ridiculously low. We're talking less than $500 in cloud computing fees to steal over $25 million. The return on investment is just staggering. Now, the company they targeted, Arup, is a huge global firm. They have sophisticated cybersecurity. So how in the world did they fall for this? Well, the answer reveals a fundamental flaw in how we think about security. Right? That's the question everyone asks. I mean, they had all the standard stuff. Multi-factor authentication, security training for employees, special rules for big money transfers. So what went wrong? How did all of that just fail? The attackers just went through their defenses one by one. The email requesting the meeting, it looked real because it came from the CFO's actual but compromised email account. The video proof of seeing the executives on the call, that was the scam. And the final safety check, getting approval from a group of people, well, that turned into a weapon when all the approvers were also deepfakes. So here's the bottom line. The company's entire security system was built on a really basic assumption that if you see and hear a person, they're real. And that assumption is now a catastrophic vulnerability. Okay, so enough doom and gloom. How could this have been stopped? Let's get practical. Let's talk about the specific red flags, the things that can help you and me spot a deepfake out in the wild. All right, here's what you need to look for. Watch the eyes. AI often messes up blinking. It's either too much or not at all. Check the lighting. Does the light on their face match the room they're supposedly in? Look really close at the edges, like their hairline or jaw, for weird blurring. And listen, really listen, for a tiny lag in the audio or a slightly robotic sound. Those are the tells. The attackers were really clever about this, though. They knew their deepfake wasn't going to be 100% perfect, so they intentionally made the video quality a little choppy. A bad connection is the perfect excuse to hide all those little AI flaws. Look, this single event really has changed the game. The fallout from this heist is forcing a huge global rethink of what it even means to trust what we see and hear online. Now, even though the company and law enforcement moved incredibly fast, they were only able to get back about $15 million. The other $10 million? It just vanished, probably laundered through a dizzying maze of crypto transactions. And if you remember just one thing from this whole explainer, make it this. In this new age of AI, our own senses, our eyes and our ears, can be turned against us. Seeing is believing isn't a safe motto anymore. It's a security risk. So what's the new playbook? It's all about adding layers. First, you absolutely have to verify big requests through a totally separate channel, like a simple phone call or a text message. Second, train your people on all those red flags we just talked about. Third, use internal code words for really sensitive stuff. And finally, you've got to fight fire with fire. Use AI tools that are designed to spot other AIs. And that's really what this all boils down to.
This heist wasn't just a failure of technology, it was a failure of imagination. It forces all of us to ask a really tough question. Is the security we count on every day, at work and at home, actually ready for a world where the attacker isn't even human?